Hey guys, in this video we are going to talk about solving two-step equations. So how do we solve equations when we need to use one or two or more transformations? So our first example is 3x plus minus 9 equals 27. So you may be familiar with this for a little bit, but just as our one-step equations, remember that we need to solve for x. So we need to isolate our x value on the left-hand side of the equation. Well, right now, x is both being multiplied by 3 and having 9 subtracted from it. If we want to get to x, right, essentially what we need to do is we need to undo our order of operations. So instead of going parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and addition and subtraction, we actually need to work our way backwards. And we need to undo our addition and subtraction before we can address this multiplication. So in order, right, to move our constants to the other side first, in order to undo the subtraction 9, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and add 9 to both sides. Because what that allows us to have is just this x term on the left-hand side, because when we add 9, right, negative 9 plus 9 is 0. So plus 0 is really just 3x. And then whatever we do to the left, we need to do to the right. 27 plus 9 is 36. Well, now we have 3x is equal to 36. How do we undo multiplication? Division. Divide both sides by 3. It gets us our answer of x equals 12. What you can do then is go ahead and substitute it back into your equation to check your answer. 3 times 12 is 36. Minus 9 does get you 27. Okay. Now we have a little bit of an different example. So instead of our x value being multiplied by 3, our x value is divided by 3. We need to follow the same process. We need to isolate this x over 3 term before we can address the division. So what that means is we need to move 10 to the other side. Right? We have to have no constant. How do we do that? Well, subtraction undoes addition. Subtract 10 from both sides because what we need to do to the left, we have to do to the right. So we don't change the value of the equation. You get x over 3 equals negative 18. How do you undo division? Multiplication. By multiplying by 3 by both sides, what's going to happen is this 3 divided by 3 is really going to become 1. So it's going to leave you with a 1x that's equal to negative 54 because negative 18 times 3 is negative 54. Okay. For 3, okay, now what we need to notice is on the left-hand side, okay, our constant and our variables are arranged in a different order. This does not change what you need to do. You still need to isolate your 4x term, which in this case, because you're subtracting the 4x, you should notice is really a negative 4x term. And our 8 out in front is positive, so we are going to move our 8 by subtracting 8 from both sides, leaving us with a negative 4x equals negative 28. Make sure you keep that sign, okay? This sign doesn't magically disappear just because you subtract the 8. You are still subtracting the 4x from that quantity, so you still need that negative sign. Divide both sides by negative 4, leaves you with x equals a positive 7, because as we remember, negative divided by negative is a positive. Okay. Lastly, we need to look at when we have an x that's being multiplied by 3 and divided by 4, minus 3 is equal to 12. So same deal, we need to isolate the term with the x in it. How are we going to move that negative 3? We're going to add it to both sides. Okay, so it was really plus 0, leaves us with 3x over 4 is equal to 15. Now, this is really 3/4 x. Well, how do we deal with multiplying by a fraction? If you remember, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal is when we flip the numerator and denominator of our fraction, giving us 4/3. 4/3 times this entire thing is 20. Make sure you multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, we're not dividing by fractions. We're multiplying by the reciprocal, keeping this as the answer that it is. So x equals 20. If you have any questions, let me know. Be sure to come prepared to class.